Hi everyone, I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about week 6 and point out a couple things I want you to spend some extra time on. For this week in the activities and assignments, we're going to be starting our study on rhetorical tools, logos, ethos, and pathos. And there's a couple of interactive videos I want you to watch and answer questions on. They're meant to get you familiar with those items. The other thing is you're going to identify the rhetorical appeals being used in particular ads. So there's a worksheet that I want you to practice identifying elements of logos, ethos, and pathos. So those are the activities. Everything is geared for having you start to understand the elements of rhetoric or rhetorical tools, because your next essay, this unit, is going to be a rhetorical analysis. So where I want you spending some time this week, obviously I want you to be working on understanding, identifying rhetorical appeals. However, I want you to really spend some time rhetorical analysis essay instructions. I want you to read this in depth, understand this is going to be the next essay we are working on. The first part of this will be to find an ad and then begin identifying particular elements that are being used in that ad to persuade the audience to purchase that particular product. So the instructions are fairly detailed, and this is why I want you to go through and read them very carefully, have a really good understanding of what this essay is going to demand. A couple of things with this particular essay, I do break it out in steps, step 1, step 2, step 3. In this essay, you will see in step 3, I actually give you a very specific structure I am going to want you to use when you are doing this essay. So you will note that you are going to have an introduction. That's nothing new, but then you're also going to have various sections with headings. So in your introduction, I'm going to want these items in there. I'm very specific about how I want you to state your thesis. It's going to be a 3-sentence formula, and I do want you to use that formula with your thesis within the introduction. You're going to have a section on visual aesthetics, and that's going to be a minimum of 2 paragraphs, a section on rhetorical situation, and in this particular section, you're going to need to quote and provide, in other words, cite, research, and quote. You are also going to have a section on rhetorical appeals. You'll have a further section on advertising's 15 basic appeals. And again, in this section, you will quote and cite. And then, of course, a conclusion. So it's a somewhat lengthy instruction sheet. I've done that to try to be as detailed as I can to guide you on what is expected in this next essay. That does not mean I won't be talking about it, going over it, but I did want you to be aware, and I want you to be reading and really looking through this so that if you have questions, you can address them with me and reach out and ask whatever you need to get addressed with it. So that is this week. I want you looking ahead, looking at what the essay is going to be like and get a really good feel. And then, of course, we have a lot of resources to help you in association with rhetorical tools and rhetorical appeals. So remember, there are lots of things embedded in these items. So for example, this one might be a little confusing, so I do want to point out below are 3 videos. However, the videos are kind of the ADA compliance for a Prezi. And I use the Prezi when I do my live versions of class or my face-to-face versions. So if you want to see that presentation, you are welcome to just hop in there and do the Prezi and just play it all the way through at your own pace. If you prefer, you may do the videos if that is easier for you to understand, or you have trouble with Prezi, or maybe your computer's not working with Prezi. That the videos are there for ADA compliance. They all contain the same thing: the Prezi information and the videos information. It's all the same information, and essentially we're talking about logos, ethos, and pathos in all of those. We do have other resources embedded for you as well to help you out. So that's it. I just wanted to really kind of point out we're starting a new unit. It's rhetorical analysis, and I want you to really spend time looking at the essay, so you have an understanding of what's coming up. And then, of course, the activities are geared toward the rhetorical appeals. And, of course, I didn't really talk about this, but your final submission for your I Believe essay is also due Sunday. That hopefully is, you're pretty much done with that and you're ready to focus on the next unit. But it is due Sunday before midnight. That's it. I'm going to stop sharing and wish you happy writing. As always, reach out to me with any questions or concerns.